Welcome back to the Old Colony Cast, a podcast about all things Plymouth and surrounding areas. I'm one of your hosts, Andy, joined today by other host Hannah.
Yo.
Who's a little bit on the struggle bus there.
I'm going to make it work.
Yeah. And our struggle bus driver, Fish.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
No.
Woo! Excuse me.
Don't get songs that get stuck in our heads. What was that?
Sorry, I had a yawn.
Woo!
It came out. I was like, no, fighting it on the way out. Oh, my God. All right. Sorry.
You all right?
You good?
Okay.
I'm going to make it.
So,
Yeah, what are we talking about
Andy,
today?
what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to jump back in the... First of all, I know in the past I've kind of shoehorned some things into the... Which may or may not have been true Old Colony episodes.
Yes, Andy.
Hannah's looking like, what is he talking
I don't
about?
know.
Hey, remember the time
Shel
we did a
Silverstein?
full episode on Shel
Oh,
Silverstein?
yeah.
And the last sentence that he said
Hey,
was...
he had a house in Martha's Vineyard. That counts.
Could we get anything, like at least part of the thing said in
this story, almost all of this is in Massachusetts. There's some deviations.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right.
Better than I expected.
So we're going to set the Wayback Machine. Do you remember the Wayback Machine?
I don't know.
It's Simon and Mr. Peabody, their time travel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Yep.
To the far back day of 1982.
I wasn't there.
When a Mr. and Mrs. Earl loved each other so much they hugged real tight, and on December 13th, they gave birth to a little baby boy named John. So John Earl saw his parents commuting to and from work, and very early on, he kind of had this desire to be in business for himself. And according to him, he says he had 16 businesses before he was 16. He had lemonade stands. He would sell candy in school, like all the little kids' side hustles that you'd side hustles. Hannah has no idea who I'm talking about.
No, I gotta figure it out.
I'm there.
Don't tell me.
No,
Yeah.
I'm there.
You'll
I'm
get
good.
there. You'll get there. So then in the early 2000s, when would that make him 18? Yeah, about 18. He was working at Newbury Comics in Braintree, Massachusetts. And is
this Cupcakes?
that what it's like when someone jumps to the end of your story?
Did I get it?
Yes.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, this is about Johnny Cupcakes.
I feel like you could have kept people in suspense.
Yeah, and then you ruined it.
Oh, yeah. He was keeping people in suspense, Hannah.
No, I mean, like, you couldn't have gone full-blown explanation. You could have just been like, maybe it is. And you could go, I'll teach you how to
all right, sorry.
steer away from it, jump ahead.
You get a lot more practice at it than I do.
Sorry.
So he worked at Newbury Comics in Braintree, and his friend Kingsley Wong always called him Johnny, insert funny thing here, like I always do to Fish.
Oh.
And, be like, if he was late, he'd be like, Johnny come lately. And so, like, every day was like Johnny something. And the one that seemed to stick was Johnny Cupcakes. Around that time in 2001, he had a hardcore band called On Broken Wings. Terrible name for a hardcore band. On Broken Wings?
Isn't that like an 80s ballad?
Right? That's what I'm thinking of. Let's Take These Broken Wings.
Oh, okay.
But still, that's all I could think of. I'm like, On Broken Wings, not a good hardcore band.
I don't know. It sounds pretty
I don't know.
of the scene.
It seems more emo.
Yeah.
Like if I was gonna go see like On Broken Wings, I was expecting like emo.
I don't know.
So
I think only because I know who they are. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So in 2001, they were actually signed and going on tour, and one of his other jobs was that he worked screen printing. So he was making van t-shirts, and he's like, oh, for gas, I'll make some Johnny Cupcakes t-shirts. And then they would wear them at Newbury Comics. Like, he gave them to his friends at work, whatever. They would all wear them at Newbury Comics, and people would inevitably be like, what's Johnny Cupcakes? And he's like, depending on my mood at the time, he's like, I'd be like, oh, it's a band. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's a porn. And he would just, like, make up random stuff. And then when his band did go on tour, they signed with a label, but it does not say what label. And they went on tour, and he saw that people were really into these Johnny Cupcake t-shirts. So on their merch table, they would have the band merch, but he would have Johnny Cupcake t-shirts. And inevitably, like out being on tour and he's traveling the country and meeting other musicians, he'd be like, oh, they'd buy a Johnny Cupcake shirt. He'd give him a Johnny Cupcake shirt. So then it became like just this thing that if you were in the underground, hardcore scene, you would get to see these shirts pop up all over. So it built like this cult fandom out of like the hardcore scene of people who wanted Johnny Cupcake shirts. I believe initially it just said Johnny Cupcakes, but then the one that like really put him on the map, it was the Skull and Crossbones, but instead of the skull, it's Cupcake.
Mm-hmm.
So then he got so busy selling the t-shirts that he quit the band and figured this was what he was going to do. And in 2005, he opened his first retail location in Hull because it was his hometown. And that's where I first met / found out about him because a friend of mine had like a little pop-up art show there one time. So I went down and I'm like, I've never heard of this brand before, but whatever. 10 years later, you wouldn't be able to not hear about it. And then from there, he opened a store on Newbury Street. And that's like, for those listeners who don't know, that's like kind of like the, I
think it's still there.
Stop jumping ahead of my notes. I don't do this to you today. But that's kind of like the Rodeo Drive of Boss. Like that's where people go to shop and shop high-end stuff.
Yes, for sure.
And so they were known for doing like his big claim to fame is his marketing. His marketing is impeccable. They would do things like they would have a breakfast t-shirt that you could only buy during breakfast hours. All his shops were decorated so they looked like bakeries, but in all the cases they had t-shirts. The staff wore aprons, so it was meant to look like a bakery, but they sold t-shirts. And he even went as far as to put vanilla air fresheners behind the artwork on the wall so it would smell like frosting. I saw him speak at Mass Art many years ago now. And he's very much like a practical joker. So like his friends would come in and he'd convince them that he mixed vanilla frosting into the paint on the walls.
Yeah.
Which is why you could still smell the vanilla. And just to get his friends to lick the walls. Because he'd be like, oh no, you can taste it if you lick the wall. So he's like this real kind of clown, like funny. And just this super limited t-shirt runs for like crazy money. And it as a brand, it really took off. He then opened his this would be his third store in 2008. Opened it in Melrose Ave in LA.
Oh, wow.
And if memory serves, he had himself delivered there in a box. So like they opened the box and then like he got out and like opened the store.
In my mind, I was like, what a crazy trip to take in a box.
I don't think he actually got delivered all the way there, Hannah.
Not like thinking of the most easiest answer to that.
But he didn't have himself shipped from Boston.
But on one side,
air holes in the box so we could breathe.
One side of the entire shop had like old fronts of like ovens that you get, just standard, home ovens, and they would like open and steam would puff out. And he was so obsessed with like this idea. He actually had one of the Imagineers from Disney like come in and design it because he's like, it has to be random.
Yeah.
And like people would do it and be like, no, I can see the pattern. It has to be random. Like he was very it was his, like he had a vision and it had to be his way.
Yeah.
And not in like a awful way. Just he had a very specific thing that he wanted.
He knew what he wanted.
Yeah. So 2008. Then in 2011, he opened the London store. And again, every time he opened these, there'd be hundreds of people wrapped around the block. People would travel to go to these stores because there's certain t-shirts you could only get at certain stores. Very much kind of like that Beanie Baby collector mentality of like he would make them rare. And then in 2012, he opened, what are we up to? 1, 2, 3. It's 4 store? On Martha's Vineyard, which was like a seasonal thing. and this was kind of like the height of the Johnny Cupcake empire. Like, he was well known. He had a lot of like he started doing collaborations with like Nickelodeon and DC Comics, and it all had incorporated his, a cupcake in there somewhere. And like the brand blew up, and his whole thing was that he didn't want them available in retail stores like Newbury Comics, for instance. And this is about the time that like people really started taking interest in him. He was named Best Entrepreneurs 25 and Under in 2008 because of the product's imagination and promotion. That's really what his claim to fame. All in all, it's kind of a silly thing that he turned into this huge empire.
It made a lot of like kids around my age believe they could just like have a T-shirt company of just their like of their own
weird little idea.
Absolutely.
And you can. It just takes a ton of promote. Like, it's one of those things that people think of like, oh, he's an overnight success, not thinking about how much time and effort,
right?
In his marketing, and he, when I saw him speak, like he's like, we would, we could have shipped in just priority mailboxes. He's like, but I went out and got custom boxes, and I got custom boxes that were so nice that you wouldn't throw them away, that you would save them and put your baseball cards in and whatever. Yeah. He's like, the branding was the most important part, and he's like, we would do things. He's like, sometimes we would throw in cash into your shipment, so you'd open it up and you get your T-shirt like a $20 bill. He's like, sometimes they were packs of batteries or dolls' heads. He's like, anything to get you to be like, I ordered this T-shirt and the weirdest thing happened, and it was so word of mouth. It was long before social media was a thing.
Yeah, the way it is today, for sure.
And so then, like all things, and it very much kind of came to be that like he just kind of partially due to lower sales, fads go away. He started to close stores, and 2015 he closed the one in Hull. 2016 he closed the one in LA. I couldn't find when the London one was closed. Or the Martha's Vineyard. It said Martha's Vineyard was seasonal, so it didn't make it sound like. But then in 2014, I have that in my notes. Hang on.
That's all right.
It was very out of order. Band touring, hundreds people. Boston. Where is it? Broken Wings. Talked about that. I swear to God, you know what? I skipped over this piece of paper. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I
know how it feels.
Yeah. Cupcakes. Newbury Street. 2015.
Yeah.
That's the. Where's the heck?
And
all right, so December 13th, 2024, he announced that the Newbury Street location is closing.
Oh my God.
So it closed fairly recently.
I had no idea.
Also, he announced it on his birthday, which I just put that together just now.
His birthday's December 14th?
December 13th.
13th.
So he announced it on his birthday in 2024, 2 years ago. Not even, like a year and a half ago.
On his 42nd birthday.
Yeah. That they were closing the Newbury Street location, that they were focusing on kind of like rebranding into like a subscription service.
Yeah.
And even well before that, maybe like 10 years before that, they started selling not all their exclusive ones, but you could get the generic skull and crossbone.
Yeah.
You can get that at Newbury Comics, a lot of places now.
Oh, yeah.
So now you can go on and find retailers. And he does like a lot of like corporate collabs, and so like if you wanted your staff to get Johnny Cupcake shirts,
right?
But I found him fascinating just on all the weird little things he would do. That he would rent out movie theaters and show the Karate Kid just because he loved the movie, but then make a Karate Kid Cobra Kai style cupcake shirt and sell it there. One April Fools. So like people would always come in, like if they didn't know the brand, they'd come in and looking for cupcakes, and then I'd be like, no, it's a clothing brand, blah, blah, blah. So one April Fools, they opened, they had nothing in the store but cupcakes. And no one who worked there was allowed to admit that they ever sold t-shirts.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And he's like, and someone asked him, like, did you feel bad? He's like, well, one couple did drive from New York to Boston just to go, and all there was cupcakes. He's like, so I didn't feel bad for them. But like that's kind of like that was kind of his brand. Like so he would do these very silly things, and he's written a book, which I don't have the name of. But and now he's kind of like a speaker and yeah, he's a speaker and he does like he consults with like companies that are looking for like, you know, branding and marketing ideas and that kind of creative vibe that he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone can, I mean, actually you can go on like YouTube and see like his kind of TED Talk. I'm sure he's probably done a TED Talk. But it's just fascinating just to hear him speak and talk about his ideas and the crazy things they've done over the years to kind of like build the brand and make it weirder and sillier, and to appeal to such a devoted group of people. And he tells us one story about how he was waiting to fly out of Logan, and he was just kind of sitting across from this kid, and he happened to look at the kid's leg. And he's like, and that's when I saw the first person that I'd ever seen with a Johnny Cupcake tattoo. And so he's like, hey, what's up with your leg? And, you know, what's that? And the kid's like, oh, it's this t-shirt brand called Johnny Cupcakes, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, after a couple of minutes, he's like, I couldn't just like mess with the kid too much. He's like, I'm Johnny Earl, I'm Johnny Cupcake. And he's like, the kid like freaked out. And I think he says like practically wet his pants or something like that. But the funniest part about that is years later, we were running some event at New World Tavern. Yeah. I want to say it was like a paint night. And I got talking to this kid, and somehow Johnny Cupcakes came up. He's like, oh, I have a Johnny Cupcake tattoo. And he shows me his leg. Yeah. And I'm like, get out. And he's like, yeah, I actually met him at Logan Airport. I'm like, he talks about you.
That's so funny.
In his talks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's just been kind of on my short list since like day one of the Inebri-art podcast.
Yeah, very, very.
And have been kind of like going back and forth like way back, but he's someone who's extremely busy to try and like nail down. Yeah,
very of the area and.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, he's big. Yes, big at the alternative kids.
Yeah, and he was very much kind of like, for a while, he kind of had like that same vibe as like Aerosmith, where you'd meet someone and be like, oh, my friend went to a party at his house, kind of thing, you know.
I don't know that at the peak of like knowing, or at least just seeing the t-shirts that I had that, which is a good thing because I would have been underage. So but after the fact, I do know some people that worked for him.
Yeah.
As adults. So that's good.
Yeah.
And not to a point now in my life, like I can say that, but like I was never like a party at a party with him, which I think is appropriate. And
if you were underage.
Yeah. It's good for him. So he's clear.
Yeah. I mean, you can have like cookouts that, you know, everyone goes to.
Yeah. I think I was so like south of Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's also like very straight edge. And not a partier. Like his kind of mantra and the thing that he was trying to like instill in people and why he was so successful. He's like, you know, my friends would be out partying. He's like, I'd be, you know, working on whatever current business I was trying to work on. He's like, to be successful, you have to be boring. Yeah. You know, you don't get to go to every fun thing and be the life of the party. He's like, you know, you got to get up and go to work and do this, that, and the other thing. And so he's like, yeah, you got to be boring.
Right on. So. I'll always remember Johnny Cupcakes. to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
I'll never, like, I don't know. It'll just be something that always kind of stands out as a moment in time in my life.
Yeah, and I feel like it's very much like, I bet you my kids have no idea what it is. You know, like, I feel like it's...
It was peak, like, MySpace, take a photo, take a picture of yourself in a Johnny Cupcake like shirt.
I'll be completely honest here. The only reason I know who Johnny Cupcakes is because Andy will not shut up about him.
I feel like that's not true. I'm supposed to be talking about him. It's an episode about him.
Like, the only reason
it comes up.
The only reason I know who he is because you talk about him.
Yeah.
I have no connection to...
It's the whole point of the podcast, and not to talk.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but it's like but like when you kicked off talking, I'm like, oh, I know who he's talking about. It's like because Johnny Cupcakes,
because he's a super impressive
Andy
local
wants
guy.
to be when he grows up.
I don't want to,
Well, except for the boring part,
or the straight edge, or there's a lot of things. No,
Yeah.
I think his marketing is so inventive, and like he built such a cool thing off of essentially an inside joke.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like if we turned your nickname Fish into a clothing brand.
We'd have to dodge a few other fishes out there.
Yeah, I mean, not PHIS.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
it would just be polo shirts, but instead of like the little jockey, it would just be
a fish.
I don't think that would really go over in the hardcore scene.
It'd be ironic. It'd be fine. Also, I'm not exactly the most hardcore guy you know.
No, not even in the running.
No.
But yeah, so that's
cool.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about Johnny
Cupcakes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there's some, I mean, like I said, that's only a tip of the iceberg. Like his talk is so good and so interesting, and very silly, wealthy human being.
Very cool.
You know? And I guess it's the part where I shut up about Johnny Cupcakes. Thanks for listening to today's episode, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art. For a few dollars, you can support the podcast, and it's a great way to help us out to make sure that we get more episodes for you in the future. And you can email us at inebriart@yahoo.com with your questions and complaints. You can follow us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And thank you again for listening. Make sure you check out all the other shows that we have to offer. There's Bar Talk Podcast. There's Inebri-art. There's the Old Colony Cast, and our newest show, The Long Dark Walk. If you're into true crime, you should check that one out. That one comes out in season chunks, so it's not a weekly show, but you can go back and binge the old episodes and check out the new season when it airs.